Hundreds of drivers were trapped in traffic early today after the driver of a stolen fire truck crashed during a police chase.
It happened this morning around 9 on Interstate 35, just north of Loop 1604.
Eyewitness News reporter Sue Kalberg was there when police led the handcuffed suspect away.
As their handcuffed suspect struggled on the ground, police tried to make sense of the nonsensical. They say on a downtown street crowded with pedestrians, while EMS medics were busy treating a patient, a man jumped into a San Antonio fire pickup truck.
He had nothing to do with it other than he stole the vehicle. Yeah.
Police say the scene turned chaotic.
I'm told that downtown in the area where he first took the vehicle is a mess with cars that were struck.
A big rig brought the chase to a halt miles away at I-35 and Loop 1604 when they say the suspect crashed into the truck.
Body damage to the right side of the vehicle.
Police say the man tried to run from the truck that has body damage and a flattened tire.
He resisted arrest, did not want to be arrested.
Chief William McManus says these types of theft are challenging because oftentimes first responders must leave vehicles running to maintain emergency equipment. This is the third time this year a San Antonio fire vehicle has been stolen. McManus said the man already had an active warrant for robbery. Now he'll be facing a variety of additional charges. In Northeast San Antonio, Sue Kalberg, KENS 5 Eyewitness News.
And this is not the first time an emergency vehicle has been stolen. In August, police say a man stole an ambulance while paramedics were trying to treat him. He hit 4 other cars before he was finally arrested. In February, another man stole an ambulance and he was also arrested. Fire Chief Charles Hood told Eyewitness News he is considering 2 anti-theft devices to stop the thefts from happening.